Welcome, dear listeners, to a tale that lies at the edge of discovery and wonder. Imagine standing on the vast frozen expanse of the Arctic, where secrets older than time itself slumber beneath layers of ice, waiting perhaps for someone brave enough to uncover them. Today's story begins with one man, a scientist named Peter, whose relentless curiosity led him into uncharted territory. What he found there would not only challenge his own understanding of the world, but also reshape history as we know it. So settle in, because this is a journey you won't soon forget, a story of courage, mystery, and an ancient truth buried deep within the ice. Let's begin. It was definitely not an ordinary day for the scientific team in the Arctic area. Lead scientist Peter noticed something magnificent in the ice, but he couldn't exactly find out what it was. However, it was just a matter of seconds when the entire team was immediately on their way to get that piece of ice to the lab. But little did they know that a creature would still live in this coffin of ice. God knows how long this creature had been frozen in ice. Before Peter found it, he knew that this could be the discovery of a lifetime and could not wait to get it freed from its icy prison. But when Peter finally gets through the frozen wall and sees what it is that he is dealing with, he is stunned by the true magnitude of his find. He had brought people with him from the scientist camp to help him get behind the wall of ice and help him come face to face with what could be his greatest discovery. The crew starts to carefully chip away at the ice until they finally get close enough to get an idea of what they are dealing with. The workers all take a step back from the shock. Some even start to make their way back to the entrance of the ice cave. Peter just drops to his knees. How was this possible? But what did Peter discover in the ice wall? How had he even found this ice cave in the first place? And could this possibly be a discovery that the world would be better off without? Before we start our story, smash the like button, make sure to subscribe, and hit the notifications bell so you won't miss any new stories. With century-old ice melting at an alarming rate over the past couple of decades, more and more secrets that were once hidden beneath it are becoming accessible, potentially revealing incredible things to be discovered or things that should better be left untouched. Explorers from all over the world are ready to pounce on these opportunities, trying to forever cement their name in the history books. Most of these explorers fail dramatically in their effort, but Peter, a 36-year-old scientist, is not most explorers, and his journey will take him to northern Greenland, land that was previously completely inaccessible and thus still very much unexplored. But with the effects of climate change, this has recently changed, and Peter is determined to use this opportunity, and use it he did when he made the discovery of a lifetime there. Peter sets out on his journey, trying to find something frozen in time beneath the ice layer, which is getting thinner and thinner. He is equipped with the bare minimum to survive on this journey, and thus the first couple of weeks are tough to endure, but he knows that it will all be worth it in the end. The first few weeks are tough with only enough to survive and no comforts from home. Peter is determined to find something to make the trip worth it. He's been hiking for miles now. Any civilization is at least 2 days away, but then he stumbles across something that may just be what he's looking for. As the days turn into weeks, Peter gets discouraged. His supplies are running out, and he's questioning his every move. With a final burst of courage and determination, he continues to hike out, searching for anything, a strange shadow, maybe a weird rock, or even a crack in the ice. He continues to look almost desperate on the wide ice-covered plain. He spots it. It's a rock formation of some kind, or so it seems. It's something, at least. He heads toward it. This is it, his last hope. He's tired. He's running out of supplies. This is it before he has to head back to civilization. Once he gets close, he determines that it is a rock formation, but there's something else. There's a breeze coming from small holes between the rocks. That's unusual, and it is definitely worth exploring. Could it be a cave or a tunnel of some kind? There's only one way to find out. Overwhelmed with excitement, Peter does his best to move the rock out of the way. It takes some time, but he manages it. There is most definitely a hole behind the rock, but where does it lead? And what could he find? But most importantly, should he even go in there or wait and come back with others? Peter is a seasoned explorer, but he knows the dangers going alone would mean, especially since no one knows exactly where he is or what he's doing. There hasn't been phone service in 2 days. And there's certainly been no internet. It would be wildly irresponsible to go in now. Thinking rationally, Peter knows he should go back to the nearest village. It's a 2-day hike at least. He'd probably get cell service back and internet as he got closer. Maybe he could call someone to help him and come back. But then again, would he be able to find this hole again? It's then that he makes his decision. With curiosity getting the best of him, Peter decides to take a short look into the hole. He won't go too far, and he'll certainly be careful. After all, he's a seasoned explorer. He should be okay. The hole slopes downward, and taking caution, he carries onward. But he wasn't prepared for what he found. The hole quickly turns into a tunnel. It's narrow and difficult to walk through. He has to be careful with every step he takes. Peter is afraid that rocks could come loose and collapse on top of him. But as he goes deeper down, this seems less likely. After all, everything is frozen together, but things are about to get easier. The further down he goes, the wider the tunnel gets. It's dark and cold. Peter doesn't realize just how far down he's gone. Curiosity has gotten the best of him. Looking back, the entrance seems so small, a little light, and a lot of darkness. As the tunnel gets wider, it suddenly turns into a giant cave. Peter is so excited. He could be the first person to ever see this cave. Making his way through it, he finds that the cave is bigger than he thought. He knows he should leave and come back, but this needs to be explored. Walking around for hours, there's nothing but ice and rock. But his luck is about to change. Trying to keep track of where the entrance is, Peter continues to walk around. It's dangerous to be doing this alone. He knows this in his mind, but his heart longs to continue, and so he does. After all, nothing comes without some risk. So he continues on, and his dedication is about to pay off and big. It's only then that Peter spots an ice wall that is different from the rest. Because of the layers of ice around him, they seemed very blue and white, but this ice wall is different. There's some form of dark silhouette behind it. It can't be just another rock. This felt strange, and he had to find out what it was. Walking closer to the ice wall, he shines a light on it. There is definitely something here, but what? He shines the light over the dark silhouette, trying to make out anything that could give him a clue as to just what this is, but there's no luck. He's going to have to try something else. Luckily, he has just the thing, or so he thinks. Going through what little supplies he has, Peter finds a small pickaxe and begins to chip away at the ice. Unfortunately, it's pretty solid. It's a long time before he even thinks about giving up. But given how little progress he's made, it's just not worth it. He'll probably freeze to death before finding anything. He's been stubborn all day. It's true that he's made some questionable decisions. After all, he's deep in a cave under the surface all by himself, and no one even knows he's here. It's about as dangerous as it can get. It's time to go back and get help. He can't make this discovery alone. It's time to be Sensei and call it a day. Before leaving, Peter pulls out a piece of paper and maps the cave as best he can. He wants to ensure he can find this place again. With the map complete, he heads back to the cave entrance. Although leaving for now, he's determined to return and uncover the cave's mystery. Reaching the surface in the dark, Peter quickly sets up camp to avoid freezing while working. He plans his next steps, a 2-day hike to the nearest village to gather a team. Peter decides against telling his peers. They might claim credit. This discovery must be his alone. The hike back is grueling, with cold winds and snow making the journey perilous. Hypothermia threatens, but Peter only focuses on memorizing the route back to the cave. At night, he dreams of the dark silhouette inside the cave, wondering if it's a new species, an ancient artifact, or something else entirely. He dismisses absurd notions like Bigfoot and struggles to sleep. By dawn, Peter is ready to set off, determined to claim his discovery. He avoids marking the cave's entrance to prevent others from finding it and relies on landmarks to guide him back. Once in the village, Peter hires a group willing to work for money, keeping the specifics of his discovery vague. The locals don't ask questions. They simply prepare supplies and equipment, including snow scooters, for the journey. Peter is thrilled by their quick response, even as his funds dwindle. This discovery, he believes, will secure his place in history, making every penny worth it. The team sets out the next day, but the journey proves tougher than expected. A snowstorm has blanketed the area, obscuring the landmarks Peter had carefully noted. Despite his digital map, finding the cave becomes nearly impossible. Hours pass with no success, and the team grows frustrated, ready to give up. Peter ever refuses to quit. His desperation grows as he insists they press on. Just as tensions rise, one of the helpers pokes the ground with a stick and feels it give way. He's uncovered the snowed entrance to the cave. Relief washes over Peter. This is the moment he's been waiting for. His heart races as he realizes his determination has paid off. This is it, the gateway to his long-awaited discovery. They make their way down the hole quickly but carefully as the descent is slippery. Peter's excitement grows. He is on the brink of his long-awaited discovery. When he steps into the cave again, it's exactly as he remembers. Nearly sprinting, Peter reaches the frozen treasure within minutes. There it is, the massive ice wall with the silhouette inside. Nothing would stop him now. The helpers are stunned by the sight, unsure of what they've been recruited for. Peter hesitates, wondering if they'll help, but the oldest step forward, inspiring the group. Their curiosity builds. Are they part of something historic? They begin chipping away at the thick ice, speculating about what might be hidden. Progress is slow, but care is vital to preserve the find. Then disaster strikes. One worker strikes the ice too hard, sending deep cracks spreading across the surface. The cave begins to rumble. The helpers back away, some fleeing to the entrance in fear of a collapse. Peter, frozen in place, knows he should seek safety, but he can't abandon what could be the defining moment of his life. Seconds later, the ice wall crashes down, revealing what it concealed for centuries. Peter stares in disbelief. Instead of a creature, a massive stone wall appears, adorned with intricate ancient drawings. He drops to his knees, overwhelmed by disappointment. It's a significant discovery, but not what he had imagined. As the dust settles, more drawings come into view. Hunting scenes, figures, and fire. The art resembles ancient cave paintings, suggesting humans once inhabited the cave. Peter realizes this find might be even more important than a single creature. These drawings could provide insights into early human life. Peter wastes no time spreading the news. Experts flock to the site, and the cave is soon declared a protected area. Though the journey cost him immense time, money, and effort, Peter's name is forever etched in the history books. While he didn't become rich, the recognition as the discoverer of one of the region's greatest finds is reward enough. This is Peter's crowning achievement, a moment he'll cherish forever.